Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, today I want to do something a little bit different. Normally I would do stuff like fan castings on my YouTube channel, but this time I was like, fan castings is not going to be enough. So, basically, I decided to write out a whole plan for not for what I expect James Gunn and Peter Safran to do, but what I want out of the new DCEU. So basically, I ran down phase 1 to 6. Even though that some movies haven't been announced, the movies that have been announced, I basically swapped it with their DC or DC counterpart, or just swapped the ones that I thought that would be better than going like in the MCU it went Iron Man to Incredible Hulk. It went from good to meh, which I don't want DC to have that. I want DC to have a consistent, these are good movies type thing. So what I'm going to do is tell you guys what I have planned, what I have written down for the phases, and then I'll make separate videos basically saying this is what I want the story of it to be. This is the director I want. This is the cast. And I'll do that for each movie, so you won't get a casting video for each phase. I'll do it for each of the movies and series. So phase 1 is, of course, with your normal DC characters, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. So phase 1, movie 1 is Batman, The Darkest Knight. Alright, so I was like, why not kick off a new DC movie with a Batman movie? Even though that they are probably going to kick it off with Superman, I would prefer Batman. I would prefer more Batman movies than Superman movies. But if they do it right, I'll be down to see Superman. Which brings me to my second one. Superman, Son of Krypton. Which I think is just a great title. Superman, Son of Krypton can go into a little bit of the backstory, but not like let's send back off Kal-El and like making land and stay with Martha and Jonathan Kent again. But it would be more Superman like experiencing his life as a Kryptonian on Earth. Then because Iron Man 2 was after Incredible Hulk, I decided to go with Batman 2. And this is Batman, the world's greatest riddle. So again, yes, it's with the Riddler. I will go into my casting decisions of who I want, even though that if you have seen my fan casting video for my idea for Batman reboot, the cast is pretty much the same. Other than some of the other cast members from the other superheroes, I kind of swapped around a bit. But the Batman cast is pretty much the same. But if you haven't seen that video, stick around until I do videos on all these, because I think you'll be surprised on who I have for my James Gunn DCU slate. And then the fourth one, replacing Thor, I have Wonder Woman, A Day of Wonder. So this is going to be the way that I've written it, which I'll get into when I make that video, is more based on the first movie, but the villain is completely different. Because I think that the first Wonder Woman is a really solid origin for Wonder Woman, and I'll get into my castings and stuff. But I have heard that they are thinking of keeping Gal Gadot, which is good. But I think if they don't want to keep Gal Gadot, I think I have their next best thing. And then after that, except for doing Captain America, I have Flash the Scarlet Speedster. Of course, setting up the Flash, because I think the Flash will be a good... and you don't go into the Flashpoint storyline, you just set up basically his origin. Or even, if you want to pick it up from the show, you do a movie version, not okay, not a movie version of an episode of the show, but like better effects. Maybe if you want to recast some people, but keeping the show world or bring some of the cast members into the movie and go like, this is a completely different universe. And then, of course, my sixth movie in Phase 1 is Justice League. I think that this will be a better setup for Justice League. You might get one more character introduced in there, but for the most part, it will be a better version of the theatrical cut, and probably nothing near the Snyder cut. But what else can be reaching for the Snyder cut, really? Now, Phase 2, of course, it's Iron Man 3 in Phase 2 that kicks it off. So, of course, the third Batman movie, a poisonous plant. So, Batman, a poisonous plant. I'll go into, you'll probably know by some of the titles that my ideas for villains, but I think that you'll really be surprised by the castings I have for the villains, because I think that the casting for the villains I've nailed. But replacing Thor: The Dark World, I wasn't going to do Wonder Woman 2, because I thought that was a bit because I want to give more members of the Justice League movies. We're going to go with Aquaman, King of Atlantis. I'll get into that other stuff when I do my video. But I think that this would be a better Aquaman movie than the one that we already have. But we have Superman 2, A New Hero. So, again, I have an idea. I have a very clear idea of what I want this superhero and story to be for Superman 2, which I'll get into when I do my video. And then this one, James Gunn can do completely by himself, because even though I wasn't a huge fan of the Suicide Squad, I think that he has made a fan base for Suicide Squad. So I decided to put in a Suicide Squad movie for him called Task Force X. Then after that, we have Justice League versus Steppenwolf. So Steppenwolf can be the villain. You're seeing up the future, but you're not going like... But that's more of a mid-credit scene, much like in Age of Ultron, where you had the mid-credit scene of Thanos picking up the gauntlet. And then replacing Ant-Man, I have Boy Beetle. I think Boy Beetle will be a really cool movie that's coming out next year. But if you want to reboot it, the opportunity's there. I know much about Boy Beetle, so I'm fine if you want to recast and reboot it. So Phase 3, we have... This is where I'm getting a bit conflicted, right? So I was trying to do something for something, but I think it will pan out later on in the later movies. Phase 3, you have Batman vs Superman. No, not the one that we got by Zack Snyder, even though I do love that movie. Not necessarily what I'm looking for James Gunn. But after that, you have the Suicide Squad sequel, which is Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Not based on the anime movie, I just thought the title would be a nice nod to that animated movie that came out a few years ago. The Spider-Man kind of movie, I have Teen Titans. I would love to see a darker Teen Titans, or even a lighthearted kind of Teen Titans, but not like... Because one thing I like about the current DCU is that they're dark movies, for the most part. And when they do have a lighthearted, it's normally like a Shazam or an Aquaman. And that's what I kind of expect Teen Titans to be. Dark, but lighthearted. Then, for Wonder Woman, I have her second movie, which is Wonder Woman vs. Cheetah. Basically doing the Wonder Woman 1984 spin, but not doing Wonder Woman 1984 exactly. Just do a normal origin for Cheetah and just make Wonder Woman go up against her. Which I'll get to when I get to that video. And then I have Black Adam. I think Black Adam will be a great asset to what's coming next. Because I think the next movie, we need to kind of convince Black Adam of like, look dude, a bigger threat is coming. We're not worrying about you at the moment. We just need you to take down this guy. Which leads into Justice League versus Darkseid. I think that one will be the one that's like your Infinity War. To your Infinity War for your Endgame, which is coming up in a minute. And then I have an untitled Blue Beetle sequel because they couldn't up with a good title for Blue Beetle 2. But I think it will be a good thing to have a Blue Beetle 2 in there. And then I have Green Lantern because I think Green Lantern will be a good idea for the next movie. Because if you want to do some parallels to Avengers Endgame, you can. But you can also do your own thing. Which then brings us into Justice League Revenge, which is basically your Avengers Endgame, but for the Justice League. And I have ideas for that movie. These aren't ones I'm going to write out. These are just ones I'm going to write little plot synopsis of, so you guys can get a little bit of an idea of what I'm trying to head towards with these movies. And then after that, I have Teen Titans: A New Era. So I think that will be a good tilt from Justice League Revenge to let's bring in some new members of Teen Titans and maybe not push some of the members out, but definitely like let's mature some of these guys up a little bit and they fade out one hero and fade to the next. Then reaches into Phase 4, which is then, to be honest, I'll be down to see this as a series. And that is Catwoman. I would be super excited to see Catwoman as a series. There is something that I want to happen in the Catwoman series that I don't want to say because it has to tie back to Justice League Revenge. But I think it's going to be a good plot device for Catwoman going forward in the DCU. Not DCEU because they got rid of the extended part. But next one is is Nightwing and Robin. So this one is kind of Robin and Nightwing kind of connecting. They will be introduced. Robin will be introduced in Teen Titans. We'll kind of go into the Nightwing-ish phase in Justice League Revenge-ish. And then you have the new Robin coming in Justice League Revenge, and then he'll be in Teen Titans, and then you have them both in the Nightwing and Robin series, which is basically your Falcon and Winter Soldier for Batman. And then you have Antimatter, which is basically your Loki type show that deals with the multiverse, and I think it will be really cool to see him experiment with the multiverse, because obviously this is Phase 4. I've written out stuff that can kind of sell the multiverse better than the other movies. But this one I think is a pretty good idea. Then after that I have a Batgirl movie. I'm very excited to talk about my Batman castings because I think I'm very proud of those Batman castings and I'm really down to see what happens with that. So then after that, basically replacing What If, you have Elseworlds. So this can be like your What If multiverse type of thing that can tie back into one of the movies down the line. Then one of the movies after that is Nightwing. I think Nightwing, picking him after Nightwing and Robin the series will be a good idea for a transition. So after that we have the Birds of Prey movie, which I think that would be a good way to introduce the Birds of Prey. Even though I do love the Birds of Prey movie that came out with Margot Robbie at the forefront of it, I think that Birds of Prey would need a movie of their own. And then you can maybe have them face off Harley Quinn or something down the line. But I think just having a Birds of Prey movie would be a better idea than just having Harley gather them all just by coincidence. And then after that, we have the Gotham City Sirens series. Now, this is a sequel to the Catwoman series. I'll go into more detail when I do it. But I think that it's a good idea to have the Catwoman series first and then have the Gotham City Sirens series. Because I think originally I had them swapped. Originally I had the Gotham City Sirens series first. Then after that, Catwoman, and I was like, no, you know what? My plan works best if I have the Catwoman series first and then the Birds of Prey series. Not Birds of Prey, the Gotham City Sirens series. Which I'll get into when I make that video. The next one is Flashpoint Paradox. Now, this is basically the Flash movie that's coming out next year. But I think that this is basically DC's version of Spider-Man No Way Home. Because I was like, I need to do that. Because I think that will work more than just having like all the Justice League members go into the multiverse for the minute. Which I think that having that will work better than because I have an idea for a Justice League one later. After that, it's the Doctor Fate series. I loved Doctor Fate in Black Adam. I absolutely loved him. He was one of my favorite characters in that movie. So I thought it would be cool to have basically a younger version of him going on some missions and that sort of stuff, and having a through-line story throughout his series, of course. Now, after that is Justice League Through the Multiverse. Now, this is basically the Justice League's version of Multiverse of Madness. I thought it would be better to do it as a Justice League movie than just doing it as one movie with Flashpoint. Because this one is pretty much kind of like the Marvel ones, your multiverse saga. That's why I put a Justice League multiverse movie there. Then after that, I have Superboy. That will kind of pick up after the... Oh, wait, yeah, I swapped it. But yeah, that will be more of your... introduce a new character. That'll be more of your Miss Marvel show. So, introduce a new character, and he'll be part of a group later on down the line. After that, we have a Swamp Thing series, which I don't have much to say about at the moment, because I'm still playing a lot of these. But I think that it will be a good idea to have a Swamp Thing series. And then the next movie is Wonder Woman, A Old Hero. I have an idea for that. So I think that it would be interesting to see what I come up with there, because I have some ideas for it. But how it happens, I haven't planned out yet. So stay tuned. Next up is Black Adam 2. Now, I don't know what I would do for a Black Adam sequel, but I knew that I had to fit one in there, because I would have to try and figure out something to do with the multiverse saga. So I just put it in there for that reason. Then after that, it's the Suicide Squad holiday special. I think it would be really cool to see James Gunn do another holiday special, but with the Suicide Squad. See what happens there. And I'm very curious to see what they do with that. Like, if they do it, though. Now, Phase 5 is when you have a new Blue Beetle. That's when you have a third Blue Beetle, and he's going to team up with the Flash to basically fix what he's done to the multiverse. Which will be set up, of course, in Flashpoint, and also in Justice League Through the Multiverse. So they'll be set up, and this will be like, they'll like put a little bow on everything for the minute until some big events come. Then after that, we have Suicide Squad versus the Bat Family. Now, of course, you don't have Batman, but you have Batgirl, you have Nightwing, you have Robin. I'm sure you'll have someone else in there when you get to the Teen Titans and that sort of stuff. If I introduce Batwoman in one of these projects before that movie, I'm sure you'll take up. I'm sure that she'll take up the Batman mantle, or Nightwing will take up the Batman mantle, and then Batwoman would more be the Nightwing of that group. So I think that would be a cool idea to have the Bat Family versus the Suicide Squad, because I did want Batman versus the Suicide Squad, but I think it would be better to do that, because then I don't really have to bring back Batman yet. Again, more details when I make future videos. But after that, it's the Supergirl series. Now, obviously, this series is going to be dealing with Kara and how she's taken the death of her cousin. I haven't mentioned what project she's going to come up in, but she is going to come up in a project. Pretty early, actually. I just haven't said what one. But she will come, though. Then after that, replacing the Marvels, we have the Green Lanterns. So basically, the sequel to Green Lantern, but it's more like the Green Lantern core movie. So, yeah, I think it will be cool to have your Green Lantern movie, whether if it's Hal Jordan or John Stewart or whatever Green Lantern you want. But I think it will be great to have your Green Lantern movie and then your Green Lanterns movie. And then after that, you have your Joker movie. So I think Joker, whatever you want to do with Joker, if you want to be... Because James Gunn did say that he is going to do Elseworld stories, which will come to my next project. But either you do an Elseworld story that's kind of connected for these last few things in the last phase that I started write, or you try and connect it to the main DCEU with one of the projects that's going to come later. Or you do like... I have ideas for Joker, but I don't have like a solid grip on what that is yet, exactly. So just be mindful of that. Next one is Superman Kingdom Come. Now this is an Elseworld story, so James Gunn did say that they are doing Elseworld stories, so I was like, they can do a Kingdom Come, bring Henry Cavill back for Kingdom Come Superman, because again, he's the perfect Superman. Why wouldn't you not get him back? So it'll be real exciting to see if they do a Kingdom Come story. Then after that is Teen Titans 3. I want it to do with the multiverse, but I don't want every movie in these phases to be teaming up with the Flash. So I need to figure out either they build a device or they get like recruited by the Justice League because they had to do something that they didn't get done in the Justice League through the multiverse movie. But I am going to somehow make the Teen Titans go through the multiverse. And then after that, it's where it gets really spicy. Because Phase 5, around Phase 5, Phase 6 is where you get Deadpool 3 in the MCU. But this one, you get your Deadpool character, the DCU, which is Harley Quinn, and why not get her to team up with Batman? I'm curious of what I'm going to do with that. I really want to see what I do with that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what I end up writing with that. And then, because Phase 6 hasn't announced much stuff, we have Young Justice for your Fantastic Four type movie. So that's going to be your movie for your Fantastic Four, but instead it's going to be Young Justice. And then your two Avengers type movies, you have Crisis on Infinite Earths and then do Injustice. Which, don't worry, I'll do it in a way that it makes sense, because I know that Crisis on Infinite Earths have nothing to do with Injustice. So don't worry, I'll make a way to make it work. But that's what I have for the minute from Phase 1 to 6 of me pitching my ideal James Gunn DCU. I'm really excited to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below what movie you're excited to see me talk about, what movies don't think is a good idea, what series you don't think is a good idea. I think when I talk about who I want directing these movies, it's going to be the more, not divisive, but more interesting thing that you guys are going to talk about. But I'm really excited to get into this. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, also hit the little bell icon to notify future videos I make. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.